Hello, my name is John, and today I would like to talk to you about Scenic Drive. Now, this is one part of a geologic timeline of events about the history of the El Paso region. For Scenic Drive, this is what I will be answering: the who, what, when, where, and why. Now, this is Scenic Drive. This is the who question of this presentation. This is a screenshot from Google Earth, and this just picks my area, which is Scenic Drive. Now, from Scenic Drive, you can see two particular spots. One is called McKelligan Canyon, right here, and the second part is the lower part of Rim Road. Now, where are these two points in conjunction to my area? Well, as you can see, McKelligan Canyon and Rim Road are the two red points that are in this picture, and this right here in this area is Scenic Drive. Okay. Now the second picture is just a wider portion. I mean, a more of the area. Now, why are we going to be looking at this? Because from these 2 points, I'm gonna be explaining a little later in the presentation, are going to be very focal to this, because if you can imagine, all of the surrounding area, El Paso, Texas, and then to our south, Ciudad Juarez, was all underwater. And before I get into that, I'm going to explain a little bit more, but just like I said, imagine this, all these surrounding areas all underwater. Okay. Now, when did this all take place? Why was it all underwater? Well, this is a historic map of the Neogene period. And the Neogene period is roughly 2.6 to 23 million years ago. Now, the Neogene period is part of the Cenozoic era. Cenozoic era ran between 2.6 to 65.5 million years ago. And the Neogene period, which means newborn, was one of 3 time periods within this era. The Pliocene period, which is 5.3 to 2.6 million years ago. Then Neogene, which is 23 to 2.6 million years ago. Then the Paleogene, which is 65.5 to 23 million years ago. Now, in its current course, this is how the mighty Rio Grande River ran. This is how it runs today. It starts off in Colorado, runs all the way through the state of New Mexico, into El Paso, Texas, and is the border line between Texas and Mexico, running all the way through to the Gulf of Mexico. So, what are we supposed to be looking at this point? Well, this is just a blown out version of the same 2 points, which is McKelligan Canyon, Rim Road, and if you can see, these 2 red arrows point out that these were once, I mean, even though you can see all the development around the surrounding areas, but if you can see this bigger picture, they kind of look like drainage points or like alluvial fans. You can't really see too much of it because of all the development here and here, but they form really good pictures of like the water pushing out at that point. That is what we're going to be looking at. They're kind of draining or leaking points. Now, how did this all take place? Like I said, in the Neogene period, the Rio Grande did not run as it does today. The Rio Grande actually ran all the way through Colorado, all the way through New Mexico into El Paso, and it kind of emptied here into El Paso, Texas, where it formed a lake called Cabeza de Vaca. Now, these pictures right here is not Cabeza de Vaca. This is just to make my point, but it emptied here in Lake Cabeza de Vaca, the ancestral Rio Grande, and it formed an endoheric basin, which is this right here. And this is what a Cabeza de Vaca could have looked like back then. But this is an endoheric basin where all the water just gathers up within a natural bowl-like structure. I'll be going over a little bit more into detail of that bowl-like structure and how it happened. But this is what I wanted to point out about here. Okay. Imagine this, if you will. This is going to be a representation of an endoheric basin. Okay, this video is taken from a study done from the New Mexico NMSU research, and it depicts certain things, but this is the point that I'd like to make out from it, because it describes kind of Cabeza de Vaca pretty much to a T. Now, this is going to be your Indo-Heroic Basin. Back then, the ancestral Rio Grande ran through here and ran into this channel. Now, this high terrain right here formed kind of a perfect bowl-like structure. When the water actually started coming in, it would fill this bowl-like structure. Now, those 2 points I would point out, this is what kind of happened. The water kept flowing in, and then it just eroded one low point. It just allowed all that water to keep rushing in and slowly erode that small portion of it and just have the water erode out. And this is what I was trying to make about those 2 points, because at those 2 points it shows this happening where the water eroded all that and just flowed out into the surrounding area. These 2 points, as what we are going to be seeing, is the leaking points, and this is kind of the draining. Like I said, they formed these huge alluvial fans, which you really can't see too much from this point because of all the development, but from this screenshot from Google Earth, you can see all this right here flowing out this way, and all this right here flowing out that way.